minutes, 53 seconds. Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please hold and you will be able to listen to the show. You are now in the host.
Latino Rebels Radio. Latino Rebels Radio. Sunday, November 29th, 2015. We're live. 10 p.m. on the East Coast, 7 p.m. on the West Coast. We're going to let it go. Radio 77. We're going free form tonight with our producer, Christian Enriquez, and our co-host, Shanice Delgado. Christian, Shanice, say hi. Take a second. Say hello. Happy Thanksgiving. Hello. Happy Thanksgiving.
What's up, you two? Happy Turkey Day weekend. Oh my god, so cool. I don't even know how I can talk right now. I'm so full. I'm still eating leftovers.
What are you eating? Are you
Brussels sprouts, yams, cranberry sauce, turkey, different kinds of stuffing, cornbread, what else? Pumpkin pie. I've been living on this for the past 4 days. I can't take it anymore. I'm good.
Alrighty. Yeah, good for you. Someone's gotta eat.
Yeah. A little bit too much.
No, you guys have a great time with family. You know, for everybody else. No, seriously, Chris, you have a good time with your family? I actually, oddly enough, picked it by myself. My wife and the kids went out on their own, and I just chill at home. So yeah, right.
Christian was grounded and not allowed to go to
You don't behave well. Don't behave well at other people's houses, so they
he throw food across the table.
Yeah, exactly. Did you at least eat something, or did you eat something, or did you like fast? I'm not a big turkey person, so I actually, being Salvadorian, went and got me some Salvadorian tamales, and I had that for everything.
Salvadoreño. I thought you were Mexican. Oh, what do I know? All right. We got 3 different countries up in here. Wait, how was yours? What was your Thanksgiving?
Mine was fun. It was good. I was in New York. I'm still in New York. I'm in New York City. And, yeah, it's cool. I mean,
Any Puerto Rican dishes? That you bring on for Thanksgiving?
what do you like in kindergarten? Julio?
Whatever.
I will answer your question. Of course. It's just, yeah, my mom made some beignets and some roast pork. And some, I don't know which way that recipe, she made some tostones. That was kind of like a pre-Thanksgiving meal. And then the whole Italian feast happened on Thursday. So we've had sort of a combination of everything. I've eaten a lot of pizza. I walked 5 miles today. So, yeah.
Whatever, Julio. I'll never ask you about Thanksgiving again.
It's like a bad peanut episode. It's like, I will never ask you about Thanksgiving again. Anyway, listen, it's like it's a short week. Christian was like, hey, what do you want to do? And we're like, I don't know, what do you want to do? So we're totally live. That's like every week. I don't know if it's every week. Every week we just figure it out. So, I mean, it's all, if the 2 people that are listening to us, if they want to dial in at 347-308-8633, again, it's 347-308-8633. We're totally opening up the lines. If anyone wants to call us, But other than that, what do you guys want to talk about? There's so many things. Like, okay, Chris, why don't you start? Like, what was of all the news that was happening this week? What was the one thing that you're like, I gotta talk about this with Sharice and Julito today? And that would be,
one of the things that we weren't able to talk about because we weren't on the air was the whole Paris thing, and that was tragic. It just came out of nowhere.
Oh, that's right. We were off last week.
Yeah, we were off, and our hearts go out to those Paris victims. We recently, you and I, Julio, had a close friend of ours that was just in Paris, Laurita Sellado.
Oh, that's right.
She was just in Paris, and thank God she missed all of that. But I mean, she was in the same areas where this attack took place, and it's horrible to see the live. When I was watching it live on TV in the middle of the night, I was like, what is going on? Like this came out of totally nowhere. It was totally blindsided. Not only I think Paris, but France, but the world.
Yeah, I mean, you know what happened today? Did you see the climate change protest at all? What happened in Paris?
Oh, that happened in Paris?
There's like a big climate change protest happening as well. And it's weird because with all that happened like a week and a half before, like now you have these protesters and there's tear gas and it's like really like it got pretty intense. And given what happened in Paris about it's been 2 Fridays now. It's just really surreal. But there's so many points. First of all, my brother. Before we talk about this, but my brother was in Brussels, in Belgium, when this was happening. He was performing to a sold out crowd, and he was telling me that he's now in the Netherlands, but he was telling me that where he was performing, it was like these dudes with like AK-47, like it was heavily armed. And it was creepy. Yeah, but he had shit was going on. But what do you guys think? I mean, Trace, what do you think about this whole I don't know if it's backlash or just reaction. I mean, we can talk about that. We can also talk about what happened in Colorado Springs, Planned Parenthood, active terrorism. Shooting. So what's on your mind? I mean, since you spent a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was really impacted by what happened in Paris as well. I really felt like the world was changing when that happened, just because of the bombing that was happening in Syria, and I just really felt like the sense of sadness with all the innocent people that are being hurt, as a result of this new war on terrorism that's just going to be taken to a whole other level in terms of security, and all these videos that ISIS came out with, and then Paris afterwards attacking like the capital of Syria, and then all these people with their Islamophobia and xenophobia, Syrian refugees. It just really felt like the state of the world is so overwhelming in terms of kind of like the war and conflict. So of course I was getting all these philosophical about it, but it just really felt overall politically that it just seems like there's going to be a real change in terms of this quote unquote war on terrorism. And I feel like these extremist groups just kind of gave the Western world more ammunition to go after. And which of course is going to cause a reaction on the Eastern world to react towards this retaliation from the Western world. So it just becomes like this cycle, and it's kind of you wonder like, wow, like how deep is the rabbit hole go, and like what are going to be the long term effects of it. So yeah, it really kind of like affected me that way, and just a lot of innocent people, so that was something that really like affected me, because I really felt like the whole world was really shocked, by all these like multiple acts of terrorism, happening at the same time, like, from drive-bys to suicide bombers, like all these, it's just like, well, it's too much, it's just like a lot, like what's happening in the world, guys, what's happening? So, the other thing that, I've been, kind of, was, hearing a lot about was like this, what happened at Planned Parenthood, but especially, is that what you were going to talk about? Like, you don't want to call that a shooting? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think that's shooting.
So how do you view what happened with them?
That's what my thing is, if you look at the definition of terrorism, right, according to, what's the definition of terrorism? And I'm actually going to call it up. And let's see if I can get that up there. Okay, so it's the unlawful use of force or violence against persons or property to intimidate or coerce the government, the civilian population, or any segment thereof in furtherance of political or social objectives. What happened in Colorado Springs, so it's really interesting to me. Well, there are people saying that it's an act of domestic terrorism, because the person is not of the brown persuasion. And, we're starting to get different narratives already, that he was a loner, he was in a trailer park, he's from North Carolina, blah, 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 blah. And, again, we're avoiding sort of the question of, there is a person that allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly because I have to, because I'm quote-unquote proving it, but he shot a cop, right? And he shot, and one of the people that died was also an Iraq war veteran. And these are lives just like the lives in Paris, or the lives anywhere around the world. So why are we looking at this in the media, the American media, through a different lens? So I'm just curious, Christian, what do you think of that? Do you think the Planned Parenthood attack is an act of terrorism? Or do you think, what have you seen the last couple of days that would convince you one way or another?
Well, right off the bat, that's the first thing I thought. Your definition that you read right now about, what terrorism exactly fits this instance. It's definitely an act of terrorism. Let's also remember that he shot a few cops. Was it like 9 people in total? Rather, 3 civilians, 1 off the AI, and he walked away. He was arrested. He wasn't gunned down. You gotta look at that too. Why did they choose to take him alive where other people have been shot for a lot less things? Jaywalking, having a knife, things like that. And some people argue whether or not it's hostages inside. Well, eventually they were all out. Right. So, it's definitely an act of terrorism. I think the media is definitely being cautious, and I don't understand why. I think maybe we're just too afraid here to think that the U.S. has a problem with terrorist attacks. But I can remember back in the 90s when the first World Trade Center got hit. The attempted bombing of the first attempted bombing of the World Trade Center, that was an act of terrorism. Timothy McVeigh, those are that. So they were Muslim. We've had a problem. We've had a problem.
Yeah.
Right. Right. But the thing is, this person, I forget his name, James here, I believe, he's not Muslim. It just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit the news cycle. So you have to get into conversations of gun control and loner
Exactly.
and he's not, this person was not a quote unquote terrorist, and I just find it to be really telling how the American media just continues to try to sell this. And actually there's been a lot of young people out there who speak out, and this conversation is good one to have. Alright, so we got two people that have called in. So should we go with I gotta go with Jonathan first. Let's see what Jonathan has to say. Jonathan gets his loyal listener, Jonathan.
Hello.
Jonathan, what do you got?
First, the Nohemi Gonzalez Memorial Fund, the one of the Latino ladies that died, in France, the amount raised is now almost 20,000. That's great news. Their original goal was 15,000, so they've already surpassed that. That's great news for the family. And speaking of what you just said, Fox News saying the U.S. government is funding Planned Parenthood to do this inhumane things that are abortions. First off, U.S. government ain't funding anything, but Fox News says somebody's gotta do something. Somebody's gotta do something. And then what happens? It's just like the baby killer. Someone goes on a rampage, and Fox News go like, "Oh, that's not. We didn't say nothing about that. Of course you didn't. You just suggested that someone should do something crazy like that." Jesus Christ, Fox News. and then
what's the last point?
And then Laquan McDonald, 13 months.
We're going to talk about Laquan in a couple minutes.
All right.
So we'll bring it back in.
Yeah.
All
right. But Jesus Christ, Fox News.
I'm sorry. He calls every week, and he's our most loyal listener. But that's how he is. Listen, so we also have Phoebe called in, and since she is
You want to talk about Planned Parenthood and not talk with doctors? What's wrong with people?
We're about to bring you on, but the thing is, we wanted to bring Jonathan on because he called. I know. Jesus, sweetheart. You were next on the deli line. Yeah, you were next on the deli line, so.
I know. No, I'm just I'm crazy.
You know what I mean? So listen, before we get into it, because we want to talk a little bit about Laquan in Chicago, but tell us a little bit, tell us more, you guys, of ND as a doctor, talking about what Planned Parenthood does. Because I think what gets lost in all this conversation
is also what Planned Parenthood does is reproductive health, which includes women's wellness, which includes breast cancer screening, which includes screening for infectious disease, which includes helping moms know when they can have babies. Abortion services, teeny part of the services, okay? And most women have used Planned Parenthood. I used Planned Parenthood when I was 17. When I first wanted to get my information about what to do with my body. And then I used it again in my 50s when I didn't have insurance for mammogram. So when we shut down Planned Parenthood, we shut off people from needed care because not everyone's getting ACA care. There are people who are undocumented. There are people who don't fit the income guidelines for ACA. And there are people living in states that simply just don't provide affordable care. So it's a crucial safety net. And if anyone thinks anything twice about whether or not this is terrorism, I possibly move over to the apple, slap the shit out of it. Because, I'm not having it. I'm a pediatrician, but I am first and foremost pro-choice, which means I want to make sure that women have the ability to make a choice when and how they want to have their baby. And if they want to have babies at all. Done. Okay? And so if we're so persnickety about life, how come we weren't so persnickety when we bombed out that Yemenese hospital? Huh? We get questions about terrorism. What's been happening in Yemen? In hospitals? When our military goes loose, we drop munitions on hospitals. So, I'm getting real hot about this whole terrorism, yes or no. There's an act of terrorism in Tulsa, where an entire black community was burned down. We don't call that terrorism. We need to be careful about the words we use. We need to remember that even though we live on the top half of what other people call the top half of the world, people living in the southern hemisphere have been facing this kind of shit over and over and over in their communities. And we need to start studying that and understanding how that impacts our lives and their lives. Climate change thing is a heavy-duty thing. It has a lot to do with who is going to get the next step, who's going to be on first. And honey, if these things keep on going, we're going to have a whole lot of more demonstrations, a whole lot more people in the streets. Because it's not about the people who don't have enough. And I beg to have people go back and look at Idle No More, which is a climate change based program out of the Native American Aboriginal community in our country and in Canada. You want to hook up with that kind of stuff? Start hooking up with them. And it's a serious climate change group down in Australia with the Aboriginal community there. Serious. I see other Aboriginals in the Americas doing similar work as well. So I think we need to get really clear about who our allies need to be and get away from that. It's either terrorism or not. And say, we killing people is not okay. How are we going to change it? Done.
Well, first of all, I have to say, I don't know about you guys, but you sound great.
I sound like
it's almost like you guys. It's almost like you guys. I know, but it's almost like you guys are a little studio, and anyway, so great. But before we move on, we do want to talk to you about Chicago because that is your home. That is,
I was just there in October because of my dad. That city has changed. It's a scary city. It's scary.
So why? We want to get your thoughts on what went on. And also one of the things that I want you to talk about a little bit as well is not just what happened with the tape, because everyone's talking about the tape, but the police finally get rid of it, blah blah. We're finally released it, but the protests that were happening on Friday at the Magnificent Mile, which were to me so underreported. I know the Tribune. I know the Tribune did. The Tribune did. The Tribune had a reporter there. Did some really good digital journalism, videos and everything, and kind of reported what
we have to stop expecting the mainstream press from covering anything. Tribune and the Republican don't want to cover anything. They don't want to cover us. They want to cover corporate stuff. They're not going to cover what they're doing. Yeah.
So share your thoughts about all.
Yeah, go ahead, because this has been a long-term thing. I grew up in Chicago as a working class, union-oriented person, and the issue of coverage has been a long-term one. So, it just might not find it in the mainstream press. You might find it in these times, the workers' world, or on this Democracy Now. But if you're expecting coverage, you're going to end up being sorry. wasting your time. You have to find independent journalists, and then like magazines like Catalyst. That's another source of information. My father wrote for them as well, and keep on looking for independent journalists because the ones that are working for these companies, they are saying the most outrageous, crazy things that you will ever see. You know, and I don't. So what are the main points? I think the shameful thing is that the South Side need not exist anymore. The South and West Side, where Black people reside, let's just shut them off, shut them in, and we create our own Chicago that's only for those with privilege. I think that's what it is all about. You know, and I went back to a city where I saw my University of Chicago look like the board on the South Side of Chicago. I mean, it just erupted, inhaled parts of communities where my father grew up that were mostly Black people. You know, on the South Side, and looking at how there is so much urban development that's being done that's more for rich people, and that same saga of gentrification and pushing people from projects out to the overrun suburbs without having transportation or jobs, which creates ongoing, problems. So to me, it's the ongoing saga, the ongoing crisis. This is not new news, people. Not to say that you're going to step aside and not pay attention, but that we have to get past the, this is happening, though, or, they're not coming. Because if you're waiting for the press to cover, you'll be waiting for a lifetime. We have to be our own press. We have to become citizen journalists. We have to be the ones out there covering the stories. We're so lucky to have cameras in our phones. We can even make notes on our phones, And so it's incumbent upon everyone who's active to learn how to write a paragraph, Write a paragraph. Have to take a picture.
Yeah, and also when you cover stories like actually being accurate. I think that's part of the problem.
Yes.
It's, people, the power of having access, people kind of, it's a power, it becomes a responsibility. So when you do share sort of citizen journalism, what I tell people all the time is just tell the story. Let the video speak for itself.
Exactly.
Don't editorialize. Don't, but I do think what's really fascinating about what's going on in Chicago, what I thought about Friday when I saw him, did you see the protest at all on the Magnificent Mile?
I saw the list of it.
Yeah, so for people that don't really understand Chicago, but let me try to summarize this in 10 seconds. But it was Black Friday in the most 1% part of the city where the tourists are and everything. And you see these united people not letting you go into the store. And there's people who are like, and you're like kind of sitting there going, this is how you fight America, or whatever America is. It's right here. And like, it is up to the point where it's like, we are going to disrupt your Black Friday because of the outrage and the injustice. Right. Anyone that has a beating heart, if they saw that video, I mean, it's really, as a journalist, you'll be like, you can't share your beating. I'm like, there's certain things in life that bias, that, being unbiased is ridiculous. When you're dealing with human life.
I think of two people. I think of Studs Church, who clearly had his own bias and his own worldview, who came from Chicago. And I think of Mike Royko, who clearly had a worldview, who was a columnist. And then I think of Molly Ivins, and I think she had a bit of a worldview too. So we need to teach, careful about telling people not to have a worldview. It's okay to have a progressive worldview. And I was privileged to take a course in citizen journalism through the University of Melbourne in Australia to just get down the basics about how do you get a story? How do you get it right? And who do you send right? And how do you make sure you vetted what you've done? So it was a great course for me because it gave me that necessary glue and jump to move to the next level. because I want to commit myself to do articles. And some of them are about health and science, but a lot of it is about how people are living and not living in our community right now.
Well, listen, Mimi, we really appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you. I really like it.
Love you a lot.
Little spinster and make my little comfort dolls now. I'll be knitting and crocheting for a while. I'm serious. I'm
Well, happy
pictures of
my friend.
Yes, I know. I love you all.
Love you. So, Christian, Sharice, what do you think? Amy?
Oh, I love you.
Definitely something. You know what? She's definitely something. Like, there's no, you know, there's no filter with it. You know, she's the type of person that, like, yeah, she's the type of person that you just want on your side, and no matter any situation. Like, if someone overcharged you at a restaurant, you want me on your side. If someone took your parking space, you want me on your side. If someone, you know, but if someone needed to, you know, feed homeless people, you want me on your side. Like, she's incredible, and she's been going through some tough times, and we really appreciate her having. She's had a fantastic. Love her. She's part of the family. But let's wrap up the Chicago conversation. Christian, I mean, Mimi was talking, so I wanted you to jump in. Did you see the protest at all on the Magnificent Mile? Did you watch that at all?
Yeah, some of it got taken up by the Colorado shooting. It just kind of happened at the same time, and that took over. But I did see something, and I think it was good what they did, and you know, it's gonna make an impact in the pocketbook. That's exactly what they did.
Yeah, did you, so it was Not My Dime, I believe is the, I'm going to get the right hashtag, but I think one of the ideas is that people will, like, don't spend. Like, you know, here's how you stop it. Sharice, you saw the videos. You've done work on police violence. You've seen, you know, things that are happening in LA. You saw some of the protests. What's on your mind about all this?
You know, it's very, I think that the whole, the fact, I mean, it is very questionable that, you know, that this person was indicted, like 9 months after the shooting, and the video was released 9 months afterwards. And, you know, it's like kind of, I think that the way they did it against Black Friday was good. You know, it's just like but unfortunately, you know, it's just another reoccurring incident of police use of excessive force. And, you know, it makes you wonder, like, in terms of, like, the bigger picture, you know, what's it going to take to really create some kind of reform or systematic change where police can get convicted. So, you know, it's good that, like, the protesters went out and did something strategic, you know, as opposed to, you know, expressing their frustration through rioting and you know, people getting hurt. I'm not going to impose any kind of judgment. I'm not here to judge that in itself. But it did seem that this, you know, them targeting Black Friday was more tactful. However, is that tactic really increase in kind of systematic form? I don't know, you know, but it's just unfortunate that this keeps reoccurring, and at what point, what's it going to take for reform to really happen? You know, we're held accountable. You know, that's what I question. So what's the overall parking tactic. But again, because there was protests on the street and people decided to kind of use a more tactic way of doing this, like targeting Black Friday. I thought was great.
So any other final thoughts, Christian, about this? I mean, where do you think this goes next? I think they need to go all the way to the mayor of that city. They need to be held accountable for this. Hopefully, the mayor just sit with the police. That's to the governor. They need to be held accountable for allegations that the police deleted video from certain cameras, and that's totally unacceptable. It took 400 days for the videos to be released, and they had to be done via court order. It wasn't even that the police wanted to release it. It was done via court order, and it's just unacceptable. We can't have that double speak of the police saying towards white communities and do shady stuff like this.
And that kind of sorry to cut you off, but that that kind of bounces back onto the whole issue with, because that video was reported on police dash cams, right? So that kind of goes back to what Obama tried to invest in, which was like the body cam. So it just goes to show like what happens when these cameras and evidence is held within the police department, and like how long they can hang on to it, as opposed to when it's civilians that record this and release it to the public before there's even any kind of charges or investigation. That the public already has access to see this for themselves. So this just kind of shows like how long kind of the tactics that the police force will use in terms of like gaining evidence and releasing it to the public.
Yeah, I know. I mean, what I find, when you look at all this, and then you look at what happened in Colorado Springs, and all the other, and just violence in general. It's like violence. It's just not. In the end, it's just a tragedy. It's wherever you go, and there's no winner in this game. Yeah, and human ego, and people like want to be better than you, or I got the power, and you don't have the power, and I'm gonna prove you wrong, and blah blah blah, and all this other stuff. Like it just is escalating and escalating, and you just wonder. I personally think that I'm actually hopeful. I think people will eventually speak out against more and more against all this violence, and start beginning to appreciate the dignity of getting along. And that's my corny 30 seconds, but
as your PSA.
But that's we could play after this. We could whenever. I mean, it's just.
But is that the connection that you see across with some incidents that we just talked about, Julio? Is the use of violence?
Yeah, exactly. It's use of violence, but it's also the power. This is all about power. This is all about who has it. This is all about people that have power will not want to give it up, and people that have power are going to use it. And that's not. It's all. That's what it's all about. When you look at it in its purest essence, it is. We've created these societies where power is what rules, and you just wonder. As we progress in this world, or maybe it's not our generation, but it might be a generation of the future generations, whether that thirsting for power and that thirsting to fight or argue or debate is just going to go away. I'm just hopeful. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just because I'm at my mom's and I just, spend a couple of days Thanksgiving with family and just kind of go, this is so nice. Why can't life be like this?
All the time, right?
We have 20 minutes left. So, what else we got? Producer Christian, what else you want to talk about? Put it all on me.
All on you, Kristen.
Always put it on the producer.
Well, I think, one of the things that kind of hurt me a day or so ago is this little known group on Twitter. You know what I'm talking about? So, there's this one, go on. There's this one small girl that's been kind of like jacking at us for no reason, for the last over a year now. Calling us Republicans and we're not Mexican. Sorry, Jimmy, you right?
Yeah, there's one here. What's up now?
We got one. I don't know how you think like that. We got one at least.
What's up, man?
We have many more. We have plenty of Mexicanos. That's right.
But Teresa's
these people, when they talk to you on Twitter, when they text you on Twitter, they talk like they know what the hell they're talking about. And they have their conversation. Yeah, and that's probably they have no clue. They have no clue what we're doing. And I'm sorry that your little Twitter handle is not generating as much, engagement as you would like it to be. But you're bitter. Nobody wants to hang around that negativity. We were just talking about negativity. Nobody wants that. And the constant jabbing is on Twitter. It's such a coward thing to do. It's like if you want to run your mouth, fine, run your mouth. Come on the show, big Mexican. I'm gonna call him out. Come on the show. Let's debate it. Let's talk about it. But you don't have the guts to do that. So you'd rather be hiding behind your Twitter handle or your Facebook page and run your mouth. We don't block you. You want us on the show. Let's talk and let's end this. But here's the thing too. It's typical of our sometimes our culture, right? Instead of helping each other up and boosting each other up, here we are jabbing at each other, trying to put one another down because you suck. It's not our problem. It's our problem. Deal with it.
So just to clarify, Julio, are you or are you not a Republican?
I am not a Republican.
There you go. The myth has been dispelled.
I'm a registered independent. I used to be registered Democratic, and then I stopped. I've never focused. I've never registered. I mean, the reason why I stopped is because I became a journalist, and I had to it's important to remain independent. So but listen, I mean, it's kind of interesting because people continue to I think the point that you make, Christian, is a good one. It's like people think that they know how this is formed and how it kind of interacts. And first of all, I would think number one, if you were part of the group, you would be having the greatest show at the time ever because we're the best. We're the most fun group of people. And so there's a little bit you don't even know what we do and how we interact every day. And it's the most fun I have, when I get to interact with people. So that's number one. Number two, it's really fascinating how when this is all clear bullying. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. After a certain point, there's standard journalistic practices, and then there's just clear bullying and trolling. And that's exactly what it is. If they can agree with our point of view and all the things that we say, that's fine. We don't have to agree to disagree. Right. But don't Right, but it's certain about it. Right, so the problem is...
Are these the people who tweeted at you a picture of a penis?
I don't know. No, I don't think so. I think that's something completely random. Yeah,
It's an interesting thing.
I don't know if that was that, but someone tweeted. I don't know if that was during a late night show. Yeah, someone tweeted a chocolate penis to the Latino Rebels account. But here's the thing. It's been. I interacted with somebody else today. Who? Yeah, I saw that. Who basically tweeted to the account that I don't really even read what the person says. So this account, and I interacted with this person because I don't know why. So I try to think that people are reasonable in life, and I guess they're not. But he basically called us like self-loathing. This is the best part. Like his autocorrect was messed up stuff with like everything about you self-loathing a-hole. Oh no, I'm sorry. Everything about Latino Rebels self-loathing a-hole fuck. So everything about us, we're self-loathing a-holes, and then from our crappy logo to our even crappier writing, FOH, which, as you guys all know, in the Urban Dictionary is a term of endearment. But what was interesting is that here's one thing I tried to ask. Go ahead. Let me just say this. Okay, so we have a crappy logo and a crappy website, whatever. How about you spend, I don't know, what is it, $10 a year and actually get a website instead of a blog spot? Just saying. Just saying. But he runs ads. Anyway, so I tried to engage this, and I tried to say about, because so basically, after I said, well, the accounts for many people, understand you can use your falsehoods, and then he brings in my day job, which I'm like, it has nothing to do with anything, but I think he thinks that all of a sudden it's my day job that I've been now Latino Rebels is now part of Latino USA, which is not true. And Christian, you were on Latino USA before I was working on Latino USA. Remember? Weren't you on like 10 years ago? Yeah, it's like Latino Rebels. Like Latino USA is like, yeah, so there's a lot of groups out there, like those Latino Voices, Latino USA, Latino Rebels, Advanced Black Portugal, Latino, I'm sure there's others, Voices Magazine. There's so many groups out there that kind of share their content with each other because we're all kind of in the same boat. And we're kind of like, what? For us to amplify like this audience or people listening to our content, or reading what we do, we should help each other and share each other. So it's always been like bloggers, it's like you be ready to blog.
Right.
Sure. So anyway. So then, so I'm like, I tried to explain that, and then this is what it all comes down to. But I was very nice. I said, hey, look at your blog, and he goes, hey man, I don't need luck when I have skills. Ad revenue pays bills. Companies pay me to write for them. Others pay me to speak. It works. And I'm like, oh, that's really awesome. In spite of what you say. Sorry. Because you take a story. Yeah, but well, great. Let me try to explain it. Right. So it's like, that's fine. Good for you. And because we're this like heavily funded website by the Republican Party, it just feels
You can hold it out.
Sharice and I have a good story. It's like when we get a free lunch at a hotel, like that's a good day for us. You know what I'm saying? Right. When you're like we're living large. Like that, yeah, it was good. So I say, hey, we don't run ads. It's really good. Congratulations. We don't run ads and we don't do paid content. We don't make money. So good for you. So he goes, you guys still make money? I okay, this is what he's like. You guys don't make money. That's very surprising considering the little opinion you have about amateurs. Making money is a true sign of growth. So I'm like, alright, well, there are other ways to define professionalism besides making money. And so then he goes, if professionalism is defined by behavior, then not making money, I don't know what's left. And I'm like, you're the dude that just called us a-holes like 5 hours ago, right? And then instead of just saying, you know what, maybe with the torturous words, I don't agree with you. My bad. Like, you're right. You know, I don't even want you to be in my space. Like, I can totally get all that. Like, I can totally, like, Christian, I can totally get, like, people hating us, right? Like, yeah, just being like, for the right reason, right? Right. But it's like when you engage, like, this type of mentality, it's like all they want is attention. And the reality is, in the end, it's, hey, I run ads on my site, I make money, I got skills to pay the bill. You know what I'm saying? And so, good for you, skills, the guy who got skills to pay the bill. At the same time, if you're going to call us what you're going to call us, and be that, like, vitriolic, and we're not going to call you out on it. You know, like, if we're going to get bullied, we're going to fight back. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, am I wrong? Or, I mean, you guys tell me.
No, I think we always call people out when they run their mouth for the wrong reasons or the wrong way. Whether it's the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, some random blogger, whoever it is, they've always, stood up for ourselves from day one. So I don't think it's wrong. I think it's just not taking it,
Yeah, I mean,
it's called no mames. It's called no mames, you know? Like, you guys, if we stick up for ourselves, like, what, we're gonna get fired? You know? Like, what do we have to lose by thinking for ourselves anyways? I mean, that's kind of like, there's nothing wrong with the voice anyways. And what are
we're going to show the advertisers. Are you kidding me? Dude, we're going to lose the corner off the trees, don't you know? We have like a Wall Street corner office. Oh my god, you didn't know that? Oh, sorry. I'm going to Costa Rica, that ocean view up there, and all the night lights.
Now I know where I'm crashing when I go to New York. So, I mean,
you can crash on the street. It's nothing. There is nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know how many words I have to say it, but I just find it fascinating that there's this incredible, and I think it's a good thing. It's like there's this incredible obsession with what we are that people have actually taken the time to create a protest sign and use our name, Christian. That's awesome.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm sorry,
That is awesome.
Wow,
I saw that and I was like, yes.
That people like actually go to our site, screen grab it, and take pictures of me and put like mustaches and prop penises on it. But that's awesome. That is awesome.
So they are so upset.
It's like this.
Wow, that's like we're reaching a new level, man. Like, this is amazing.
Yes, but they are just spending time. The what? We reached the penis picture level. I don't know what the level. Dude, when the Latino Rebels site like reaches the penis picture level, like that's amazing. I don't care what anyone says. That is a win for all of us. But although we have to say that in fairness, we got like 3 or 4 of them tweeted at the account, so the account administrator didn't report it. And the account was suspended because it's like we were getting these penis pictures like all the time, and it's like, can you imagine like you're on your news feed and you're like, oh look, there's another penis picture about us. So we gave up with that one. And Twitter.
Oh my God.
So, because it's
So wait, I'm unclear. Who is this group or person like protesting out on the streets of New York City against Latino Rebels saying that you're Republican and trying to trademark zapatistas or something? What's that?
Nothing like the zapatista stuff. It looks absolutely nothing. Ours is kind of sideways and kind of pointing up a little bit. There isn't. And if you're gonna go after people with stars, go after Russia. They had it first.
that is crazy. I just laugh because here's the thing. It's like this is what's called bad journalism, because it's like people continue to accuse and allege. And have you ever gotten an email, Christian, or I mean, I've gotten any email from anyone saying, "Hey, we want to talk," or "We have no questions." They don't have something like a Twitter. Yeah, they don't have the courage. They lack the. It's like let me hide behind my anonymous. Yeah, let me hide behind my anonymous Twitter handle, because that's where I have it out. And that's where I think it's just, I don't know, it's like, I'm actually fascinated by it. People are like, I have friends of mine are like, oh, don't pay attention, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, I kind of do, because you want to see you got to see the good and the bad and how people view you. And it's obsession. It's obsession. Like people are obsessed with Latino Rebels. Like, I don't think you can say that about other like similar type pages. Am I right or am I wrong? I mean, I don't think people go, and I love some of these pages, so I don't think people go like, oh, that page, like, oh my God, like, why do they exist? They must be funded by Republicans and blah blah blah. And it's like, I don't know why, Chris. You've been there since the very beginning. Why do we generate such a visceral reaction, both good? I mean, in reality, 99% of our reaction is, super positive. We get emails from people all the time saying, keep doing what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. But why do we get that visceral, like stupid reaction of this? Like, that's the part that I'm like, what do you think? I want to hear you say, well, I'm going to share my opinion.
I think we get that type of reaction because we keep it real. We don't follow the mainstream idea that everybody, has, whether it be mainstream media or whether it be, our own views. We have separate views. Some people didn't like the Christopher Columbus article that we posted. Some people did. And that's fine. We're allowed to have different opinions. This is the United States of America, right? We can do that. And last time I checked, speech was still available for the most part. We can do that. And it's okay to disagree. Like I said, it's okay to disagree. And that's fine. We can agree to disagree. But, have your facts straight. Don't just run your mouth because you're doing a lot of yapping. And we'll see you when you get to the top if you ever do, because that negativity is not going to get you anywhere. That's not leadership.
Dude, man, you fucking have. I'm sorry, like,
Yeah.
I don't have to say.
We'll see you on the streets that day. We'll see you on the streets that day.
I swear to God, if I see you on the street, it's going to be a different conversation.
I mean, you should have an open invite for any of these, to show up anytime.
Anybody.
I have no.
Anybody can come and go.
There's no problem today. Yeah. Yeah, open line. It's like they're probably, what they're probably thinking. They're tapping the phone lines, and they're gonna kill the Republicans and the government. Because they're funded by Wall Street, and they're part of a bigger conspiracy to remove anything authentic about what it is to be in the United States. Don't trust them. Hey, this is Latino Rebels Radio. Por desde Varela Christian and Shadi Stegarillo. We are out of here. Let's close it out. Adios, real. We always keep it real. Stay rebelde.